Hello and welcome to this guide how to choose gate valves responsibly. My name is Christian Dobritzberger and I'm the manager for the product management in the Havle Austria group. In this first part I will introduce some essentials. Those who would like to go deeper are most welcome to participate in the subsequent webinar, which is a bit more advanced. Quite easy initial checks on basic requirements should contain whether the product is suitable and safe for our most important element, our number one nutrient, water. Are the materials of the valve listed in the 4MS initiative, which is a widely acknowledged and up-to-date guideline for use of material in drinking water? Does the valve have the necessary certifications of accredited bodies such as DVGW, OVGW or Kiva, just to mention a few? Whether compliance to EN 1074 in general and specifically the endurance requirements of these standards are given, and a proven long-term track record is the best indicator for longevity and will give a higher confidence level. Havle valves have proven service lives of 60 years and more. Now some very basic initial checks. An edge protector can save your precious valves from damaging during storage, transport and installation. It also is a practical valve identifier. It is definitely worth to open one valve from a lot for visual checks, as you might also open the bonnet of a car before buying it. After removing the protector and sealing compound of the bonnet bolts, the material of the bolt is revealed. Ideally, these are of stainless steel. For gate valves, ductile iron of GJS 415 or 507 grade are typically used, whereas 415 grade is preferable due to its higher elongation at break of 15 MPa, which is 15%, which is definitely an advantage in the long run. Once the bonnet is removed, you will get a better insight to the valve. Crucial surfaces like the bonnet flange should be machined evenly. If not, like on the top left picture, the demolding slopes are still there. In such case, the gasket will be squeezed excessively in the center part, whereas it will kind of hang loose in the edges. Definitely that can cause leakage in the long run. And if you see a flange with such dents, like on the bottom left picture, you should ask yourself the question, what could be underneath? Cavities or lumps in castings aren't that seldom and definitely detrimental for longevity. The bonnet gasket should interlace the bonnet threads in order to prevent water or moisture entering the threads in the bonnet. When using stainless steel bolts and sealing compound as shown in the previous slide, you will have triple safety, so no corrosion can take place. If the bonnet threads remain unprotected, corrosion is inevitable. Now, some other reliability aspects which I personally never thought of when I was just a user of gate valves. A fully coated bonnet, also on the inside, specifically in the grooves, is crucial. You shouldn't take it for granted that this is the case with all gate valves. A double bayonet is the best solution as it offers double safety for unwanted slip out followed by a so-called spindle blowout. In our E3 valve, we have even additional safety screws in order to prevent it. The amount and the diameter of seals also matters for the long-term performance of a valve. Then there should be sliding discs on both sides of the spindle collar. Again, something that not all valves have. Needless to mention that such valves will wear out in no time. And finally, a wiper ring on top shall prevent dirt ingress into the spindle sealing and spindle bearing area. As indicated in the previous slide, on the top pictures you can see how fully coated bonnet should look like, and also seals of adequate diameter in a sturdy O-ring carrier made of brass. The bottom picture shows a bonnet with uncoated spots in the spindle sealing area, and I think it is self-explanatory that these thin O-rings in a plastic bush on the bottom right picture don't create much confidence. Technical guidance say that O-rings below 3 mm diameter should not be deemed to have a long-term sealing function. They are rather considered as spacers to hold something in position. Some other simple basic checks once the gate valve bonnet is removed are: does the groove for the wedge guiding in the bonnet have an absolutely smooth and even surface? If not, it won't take long until the coating is rubbed off by the wedge. Is the wedge fully vulcanized? Any exposed ductile iron will result in corrosion eventually. Does the valve have attached plastic wedge guides for reducing friction? I have seen valves which run on rubber, which implies high wear and tear when actuated. A form fit of the wedge nut on the wedge with some freedom of play is the better choice, as a press-fitted nut could slip out. In addition, a press fit creates a rigid connection that can't absorb a water hammer during closing, for instance. Then, the thread in the wedge nut should have a ratio to the spindle diameter of minimum 1.2. The more threads, the longer it will last. When the valve is fully opened, the coating should not be touched by the wedge, because that will damage either the rubber or the coating of the valve after a while, or even both of them. The brass material which are in contact with the water should be lead-free. It is well known that lead in pipelines is a serious health hazard. The sealing behavior of a valve can also be tested by spreading chalk on the body, followed by closing the valve. The broader the imprint on the body, the better is the sealing. And before I come to the end, I got a question for you. Do large gate valves need a bypass to operate it easily? The answer is definitely no, even at differential pressure of 16 bar. Therefore, more than 90% of our gate valves of diameter 500 and 600 are sold without bypass, due to its easy actuation. But of course, the option for a bypass exists for those who really want it. Well, and that was it for the first part. If you found this webinar useful, please join in for the next part, where we'll provide a deeper insight. We hope these webinars will provide some guidance on how to choose gate valves that will last, ideally for generations. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.